Welcome back to hockey season, everybody. Inside the walls of beautiful Climate Pledge Arena, preseason game number 1, season 5. Schwartz in tight, he scores! A backhander to the roof for Hayden Schwartz. In front, they score! John Hayden on the doorstep. He gets a brilliant pass from Oscar Fisker Molgaard. A new direction for the Crunch in Lane Lambert.
At the end of the day, we have some terrific young players that are ready.
One-timer, nobody scores! What a rocket! One-timer by Benier-Stop, they score! On the rebound, it's Berkeley Catton.
The future is bright.
Kako in front, they score! That's hockey, baby!
Welcome to Season 2 of Kraken Home Ice. I'm Paul Silvi. Here at King 5, the official partners of the Kraken, we have you covered as we dive into the deep. Throughout the season, we'll sit down with head coach Lane Lambert, and we'll get to know the players on and off the ice. Plus, we'll see the impact the Kraken have on the community. There's a lot of new this season. A new head coach, new coaching staff, and new players. But in the Kraken's 5th season, the goal remains the same: to win and make it back to the postseason. Right now, we have rookies fighting for a spot as the roster gets finalized. Berkeley Catton and Yanni Newman are 2 standouts from camp. And the team made multiple trades in the offseason, bringing new talent to Seattle. Mason Marchment, Freddie Gaudreau, Ryan Lindgren, and Matt Murray. Our first chance to see the team put all these changes into action has been in the preseason. But with the preseason come injuries. The Kraken announced Wednesday that defenseman Riker Evans is out for 6 to 8 weeks with an upper body injury. Capo Kako is out for 6 weeks with a broken hand. Defenseman Brandon Montour has not played in the preseason, but he's expected back in action soon after the recent removal of a bursa from his ankle. A standout in training camp has been Berkeley Catton. The Kraken's #1 pick in the 2024 NHL Draft has come back to Seattle for his second camp, a different and determined player. Ariel Ursuto has more on Catton chasing his dream.
Berkeley Catton is taking a big leap. The 19-year-old returns to the Kraken after a monster year in the WHL and a beneficial summer in Seattle.
I think last year was kind of an eye-opener for me just to see how strong, the Adam Larsons of the world are and guys like that in the corner. So it was good to get a taste of that and then, work over that last season and into the summer and then come here, and I think I knew what to expect a little bit more.
This preseason, Catton notched his first goal.
On the rebound, it's Berkeley Catton.
And flew on the wing alongside another first-round pick, Matty Beniers.
He's just so smart and has such a high motor. I think playing with a guy like that is awesome for me. And I think we gelled well together. And he's obviously has done lots in this league already. So I think it was good to even learn off him and talk with him on the bench and stuff. So he was great to play with.
Catton's game has elevated at rapid speed. Yet he's still motivated by the teammates in his room and his family back in Saskatoon.
Trying to be the best version I possibly can. That's the beauty of hockey. There's always more to give, and you still have lots to work on, lots to get better at. So I love that part. And then obviously, like we were talking about, my family and how much they've given up for me. My dad and grandpa, I remember they'd build me a backyard rink, to skate on in Canada. So that was always nice. And I think it was when I was like 3 or 4 before I could barely even skate probably.
From learning to skate on a backyard pond to honing his craft on the manicured sheet at the Kraken Iceplex, his journey has traveled light years. But Catton isn't fazed by the bright lights of the National Hockey League. He was born for it.
There's a little bit of pressure. Obviously, I put it on myself too. I want to come in here and make a positive impression, but it's just hockey at the end of the day. When you're playing with great players and lots of great guys as well, it makes it pretty easy. So it's been lots of fun.
Kraken head coach Lane Lambert has gotten to know his team throughout training camp and the preseason. Now it's time to put practice into play. We sat down with the coach to talk about the strengths of this team going into the new season.
I think there's been a mandate, and certainly the players have lived up to it throughout the summer of coming into camp prepared and ready to go. And I've seen that in their fitness testing. I've seen that right from day one of camp. You know, our strength of our team is going to have to be everybody has to contribute. We're going to be a four-line hockey team, and you know everybody's going to have to make contributions in the role that they have. Our depth is strength.
When you talk about fitness tests, I would imagine that conditioning is a top priority for you from what I'm seeing and hearing from this camp. How much of an advantage can that give you when you have a well-conditioned team?
It's a tough schedule. It's a tough season. You know, so many games. If you're properly conditioned, you give yourself a chance to win every night. That's really what we're all about. So, you know, there's been a real priority on that, and certainly with the things that we do in practice, there's a high level of intensity as well. So we try and make it as game-like as possible.
Also, some talk about the way you run this program out of the gate. Being a new coach here, accountability seems to be a big thing for you, and the players talk about it as well. I think they appreciate that.
Yeah, I just have always operated on the premise that you know everyone's responsible for the job that they do, and if they don't do it, they need to know they're not doing it. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, and it's the only way you can really have success as a team is if everybody's held accountable and everybody has a role and responsibility and lives up to that.
How about Berkeley Catton, the rookie trying to make this team? What do you see from him, and what do you like about his game?
Good speed, great hockey sense, the ability to see the ice make plays, and you know, from an offensive side of it, you know, he's a young guy who's coming in. Again, he's no different than anybody else in this camp. He's grasping and trying to grasp, you know, some of the defensive systems and the things and the roles and responsibility that each player has. So, you know, that's taken him some time, as it has with everybody else, but certainly tremendous offensive mind.
They score on the rebound. It's Berkeley Catton with his first goal as a Kraken in preseason.
You get a chance to play tourist in Seattle. Did you get a chance to kind of learn a little bit about the city? Anything like that before you got into this grind?
Yeah, we, you know, obviously we come here, we had to find a place, my wife and I, and, you know, into development camp and try and learn about the organization, the players within the organization. I feel a lot better right now than I did, you know, at the beginning of June when I came here. I know my way around a little bit, and certainly have understood and realized what a great city this is. You know, whether it be Magnolia, Bellevue, all these different places that, you know, we've been able to visit. And then the Seattle sports scene is something else. You know, been to a Mariners game, been to a Seahawks game, great sports scene, great fans of every sport in this town, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, that kind of help you as a head coach coming into this town and kind of see that passion and feel it?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I definitely embrace it and appreciate it. There's no question. And it seems to me that, you know, just passionate and very supportive. And that's critical for any home team to have.
More to come on Kraken Home Ice. We're getting to know one of the newest members of the Deep, Mason Marchment. And we're bringing back a segment we call the Shootout. The players tell us about what they're looking forward to this season. It was a Kraken takeover at Green Lake Park Saturday morning. Runners and walkers from all over the area participated in the second annual Seattle Kraken 5K. This event helped kick off the start of the hockey season. Some of your Kraken favorites made an appearance, including mascot Bowie. In the offseason, the Kraken were busy making trades to strengthen the team, and one of those moves was bringing in Mason Marchment. Along with his skills, Marchment brings postseason experience. Brianna Vasquez talked to Marchment about his road to the Kraken.
From undrafted to playing on Stanley Cup winning teams, Mason Marchment knows a thing or two about overcoming obstacles.
It's just been a really long road, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I kind of had to go through the muck to get here. So coming from kind of where I did, I never took anything for granted, and I still don't want to do that, and kind of earn it every day and keep working.
Marchment's journey to the league was not linear, but all roads led him here to Seattle. Marchment started as an undrafted free agent signed by the Maple Leafs. Toronto signed him to an AHL contract in 2016, despite not playing any major junior hockey until the age of 19. After Toronto, Mason was traded to Florida, and 2 years later, signed as a free agent by Dallas. In his 3 seasons with the Stars, Marchment helped them reach the Western Conference Final in each season. Now he hopes to get the Kraken back to the postseason.
Yeah, it's huge. Experience is, it really helps. It's just the little things and the highs and lows and dealing with the emotions, and it definitely takes a time or two to kind of get used to that.
Marchment comes from a hockey family. His late father, Bryant Marchment, played in the league for parts of 17 seasons. Marchment never felt pushed to play hockey, but always felt supported.
He always just wanted me to enjoy myself and have fun and work hard in whatever I did.
The biggest lessons he learned from his dad weren't about hockey.
Just being a good person. He was such a good person, and anyone he talked to that knew him, you'd light up the room. He's a very, very nice guy. He's always joking around and smiling.
Mason forged his own path to the pros.
When I first came to the league, I was just trying to make it any way I could. I think my game's evolved quite a lot, just possession-wise, and making plays and using my body to set teammates up or protect the puck. Just build off what I did last year, and it'd be nice to maybe get a couple more goals.
This season, we're bringing back our segment called The Shootout, when we ask players rapid-fire questions ranging from who's the funniest teammate to the importance of a pregame nap. In this week's Shootout, we ask the players what they're looking forward to most this season.
Winning.
Just to play. Summer's long.
Just a new adventure with a new team and have some fun and compete.
And I'm just excited for everything. Being back, we got some new guys in the team that have been gelling well so far. We got new coaches as well, so kind of be like a bit of a fresh start for a lot of us.
I think just being able to play back in Climate Pledge with the fans and the energy in that building.
Just getting back on the ice and starting to get games going, playing.
Just being back with the guys is the best, honestly. Hoping for a big year this year.
New year feels like a fresh start every year, so I'm excited to just get going.
Game 1.
Just getting to know some of the new guys and what they can bring for our team.
Should be really exciting. Find the chemistry again and win some hockey games.
Right now, the start, just a lot of excitement around the team, a lot of new personnel around the team, some really good additions, so everything.
Just getting to know my teammates more and more and building something with them.
Lots of things. Getting to know the area a little bit better, I think, is a big one for me. I've never really spent much time out here, so from what I've seen, it's very beautiful, and I'd like to do some exploring a little bit.
Next, we'll be joined by Kraken broadcasters JT Brown and Alaskan on their expectations going into a new season. It was a packed house at Climate Pledge Arena on Thursday for the team's final preseason game. And members of the AL West champion Seattle Mariners were in the house cheering on the Kraken. Julio Rodriguez even got to take a spin on the Zamboni. Throughout the season, you'll hear the familiar voices of the Kraken broadcast crew. 2 of those members, JT Brown and Alaskan Lucan, sat down with Brianna Vasquez to talk about the expectations for the new season and some players to watch.
You guys have had a chance to see the team so far play in the preseason and throughout training camp. What is the vibe that you're seeing so far?
Well, for me, it's been the work ethic and the intensity on practices. You can see how hard they're working. There's very little time that they're not moving. All the drills have them covering all 200 feet of the ice to challenge them and get them as fit as possible. So it's really been focused and intense.
And I think you take a look at the structure, not only in practice, but within the games as well. You're starting to see the team gel together. Those are the things that are, changing when you have a new coaching staff. And, it's how quickly you can get all the guys on the ice on the same page. And it's a work in progress, but you're starting to see a lot of those signs and seeing the structure come through.
And JT, what do you think needs to be done for this team to have a successful season?
I think consistency is a big one. And, there were times, last year where they played excellent hockey for 2 periods, but, there was 1 period where it wasn't there. So just trying to find that consistency and, knowing the expectations.
For me, building on that structure, it's all about connected play. And by that I mean being more sound in their own end defensively, and then being able to transition effectively and get on quick strike offense. A lot of times maybe one part of the ice worked, but the other two parts kind of fell down. So it's that connected play in all areas.
And you mentioned new coach. We have new coach season. How are you guys feeling so far about Lane Lambert?
For me, Coach Lambert is bringing that structure and he's bringing that discipline. If a drill isn't going right, he stops it. So he's holding players accountable, but he's also being fair. And I think he's trying to respect the personnel that he has as he makes some tweaks to the system to make them as successful as possible.
And I think, Allison, a key word there is fair, right? And from a player perspective, he demands a lot, and the expectations are there. You're going to know your role. You're going to know exactly what is needed from you, and having that type of communication from a coach and knowing what to expect is huge for the on-ice performance.
And who is your player to watch this season?
Well, for me, it's a new acquisition who came over from Dallas via trade, forward Mason Marchment. I think he has the ability to contribute on the power play. He has a nose to get into the dangerous areas of the ice. And he's not afraid to get a little scrappy. So again, as this team forms their identity, hopefully all of those ingredients will come to bear and help this team win.
I'm going to look at a returning player, and Ellie Tolvanen. Thought he had a really good year last year. He had the 23 goals, 20 at even strength, and love the way he plays the game. He's physical, led the team in hits, didn't have much power play time. Maybe he gets another look there. He's got an excellent shot as well. We saw him get on the penalty kill towards the end of last season as well. So he's got many facets of the game, and I think maybe he hits 30 this year.
Tolvanen scores! That's hockey, baby!
You two are both part of Kraken Hockey Network. How is it working together and working with your team?
How is it, Allison?
Well, I personally love it. This was my first attempt at being a broadcaster, and with people like JT and the legend John Forsland, Piper Shaw, Eddie Olczyk, and not to mention our crew behind the scenes that people don't get to see, we all really are pulling on the same rope, and we all want each other to be our best, and we teach each other, we challenge each other, we learn from each other, and I'm really honored to be welcomed into this group, and I'm really proud of the work we do every game.
I think the one fun thing is we are allowed to challenge each other. Me and Allison, some of our best, times are having debates on what we saw or how we see the game, and we can have that in a constructive way. And like I said, working with Piper and a lot of the work, throughout the games, we do the podcast together. John, Edzo are fantastic. Being still new to broadcasting, it's great to have such good minds around that you can pick their brain, and you're always trying to learn.
I know for myself, I learned so much from you guys in the broadcast, and looking forward to learning so much more this season. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still ahead, a hockey player, a mascot, and a bear walk into the same river. John Hayden gives us the story behind the viral moment and why the Kraken were in Alaska. Plus, we're getting a preview of all the new food being served up at Kraken home games this season.
Hey Sam, we got a bear, we gotta move down.
Oh my God.
Over the summer, this video of a close encounter between Kraken forward John Hayden, mascot Bowie, and a brown bear went viral. The group was in Anchorage for a youth hockey camp, and the bear encounter kicked off the week. We talked to Hayden about the story behind the viral moment.
It was a day the Hayden siblings will never forget.
So it was just really special. The fishing day for John and I, we would said was more a top 5 day.
John Hayden was asked by the Kraken if he wanted to attend a fly fishing trip to Katmai National Park, followed by a week-long youth hockey camp in Anchorage. He jumped at the opportunity, especially when encouraged by his younger sister, Catherine. She was his +1.
Just to have that life experience with my sister was special because we're pretty close, and there's 8 or 9 months where I don't see her very much.
The Hayden siblings grew up in Colorado, so they're no strangers to outdoor activities.
John!
That's so sick.
But what the fishing trip had in store, neither of them could have predicted.
I would describe it as a little bit like Jurassic Park vibes when we got there. Like John and I are kind of like head on a swivel.
As soon as they arrived at the park, the group did bear school, where they were taught how to respect the bears and their territory.
It was a pretty smooth day. We had fun. We caught some fish. There was the one hiccup, maybe, but we got out of it okay.
That hiccup was when a 600-pound grizzly bear charged at John and Kraken mascot Bowie.
Our guide did such a good job, and so I'd say it was about five seconds of feeling a little bit dicey, but aside from that, it was good.
John and Catherine had been separated at that point for safety reasons. Everyone was with a guide since they were in such a highly bear-populated area.
It never actually felt like you were in like impending danger necessarily. I mean, except maybe when the bear did charge at John.
Fortunately, the bear reversed course just as suddenly as it had charged at John and Bowie.
I gotta get far. We saw the guides kind of like took care of the situation and they're professionals and we were like, okay, I think like we're fine. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. So it kind of turned into like a cool thing more than a scary thing at that point.
One of the most impressive parts was Hayden had a fish on his line before the bear encounter and still hauled it in for a summer record sockeye catch for the area, beating out a salmon his sister had caught earlier in the day.
My sister was the first to do it, so then things started to get a little bit competitive, so I'm glad that I ended up catching one too.
If you take in like the landscape of Alaska and the experience with the bears and catching fish, and John set a record, so it was really, really fun.
A new season of Kraken hockey means new food here at Climate Pledge Arena. Executive Chef Molly Demers and her crew are getting creative with additions like a prime beef arena dog and oysters. Jose Cedeno of King 5's Evening gives us a sneak peek of the menu.
It's a brand new season for the Seattle Kraken. The big question, what is new this time around? We have a new third Kraken jersey that glows in the dark. And a new menu at the Pledge Arena for game day.
Today we're talking about food, and yes, food. And trust me, Chef Molly has surprises when it comes to this menu.
It's our year in the arena and on the food scene.
What's new this season?
Lots of things are new this season. I'm geeking out because we actually have Pierogi coming to the arena. So excited to have them. Poke Pop is a brand new concept where we're launching fresh shucked oysters. And then the arena dog. We wanted something that just says hockey. So we're doing a foot-long hot dog with braised Royal Ranch short rib, a horseradish cream, and fried onions.
I'm gonna go with the arena dog. Let's see. It's different for sure. Let's go Kraken! You know I can't come to a food event and not eat a smash burger.
Let's talk sweets. Froyo, we are adding toppings this year. We're also going to be releasing a Kraken cookie with the famous red eye to match that new fluorescent jersey. It's an experience. This whole arena is meant to be a vibe, and the food brings that same energy.
It all starts on Thursday when the Kraken open the season right here at Climate Pledge Arena against the Anaheim Ducks. And that'll do it for our first show of the season. You can check out Kraken Home Ice every Saturday night at 10:30 on Kong and Sunday nights at 11:35 on King 5. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.